Dippin Dots is an ice cream snack and store chain that started in 1988. Thank you for your suggestion.
It's Dippin Dots!
Dippin Dots, crazy cool creations. Lots of fun, lots of taste sensations.
Yeah! Pick a flavor you really like a lot, then create your own frozen dots. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, banana split, cookies and cream, cotton candy. Or create your own with your favorite fruit juice. Pull the lever for your favorite flavor. Then stack up the trays and pop them in the freezer. Pop them in your mouth. New Dippin Dots Frozen Dot Maker. Freeze them, eat them, love them. Buy Big Time Toys.
Dippin Dots was founded by Kurt Jones, a former vocational education teacher turned research microbiologist. In the mid-1980s, while working in Lexington, Kentucky for Alltech Biotechnology Center, he developed a process for making cattle feed by freezing it in a pellet-sized chunks at 350 degrees below zero, which better preserved the nutritional content. One weekend in 1987, when he was making ice cream at home with a neighbor, he was struck by the idea of using the same technique to make the frozen dessert. He began to experiment, and after 6 months of trial and error, arrived at a method of flash freezing a stream of raw ingredients with liquid nitrogen vapor. The result was a product which contained virtually no ice crystals or air and had the appearance of tiny, hard beads that were between the size of a BB and a small pea. When a spoonful of them was eaten, it would slowly melt to release an intense, fresh flavor. Different variety of beads could also be mixed together to create new flavors, though the first experimental versions had been consumed at such a low temperature that Jones later recalled they welded our tongues to our jaws. The firm established a shipping and storage standard of 40 degrees below zero and a serving temperature of 20 degrees below zero. After being served, the beads could retain their shape for more than 10 minutes, even on a warm day. Once Jones had perfected the process, he patented it, then quit his job, bought production equipment, and opened a retail outlet for the ice cream with his wife Kay. The operation, which was christened Dippin Dots, was based in their hometown of Grand Chain, though the first store was located at a shopping center in nearby Lexington, Kentucky. The location was not a busy one, however, and the Joneses found themselves struggling to keep the business afloat. After using up most of their savings, selling a car, and running up the balance on 6 credit cards, they decided to try a new tack and took out a loan to fund distribution to fairs and amusement parks, using their farm as collateral. In the late 1989, by the time the Joneses had decided to close down their store, Dippin Dots was already being sold at such places as Opryland USA in Nashville, Tennessee, and events like the Tulsa, Oklahoma State Fair. Though it was slightly more expensive than regular ice cream, small samples handed out to passers-by proved irresistible to many of them, especially children, and sales began to take off. A small pouch-sized container of the beads cost $1.25, and flavors included vanilla, strawberry, or a combination of the two. Several varieties of frozen yogurt were also offered. In 1990, production was moved to a new site in Paducah, Kentucky, and the following year a formal dealer network was established for distribution to fairs, festivals, and retail locations. The treat was especially popular at outdoor venues where it was often sold alongside carnival fairs such as corn dogs and elephant ears. The company promoted Dippin Dots as the world's coldest ice cream and the ice cream of the future. More than a dozen flavors such as mint chocolate, banana split, and blue bubblegum were added, and frozen sherbet and flavored ice beads were offered as well. Because of its unusually low serving temperature, selling Dippin Dots as a packaged product through food stores was avoided. Although grocers could maintain the necessary storage temperature, not all home freezers could, and in some cases the beads would clump together before use. Dippin Dots was now growing rapidly, and sales shot up by 1,300% during the first half of the 1990s. Outlets were being opened in shopping malls as well as amusement parks, fairs, and other seasonal sites, and by 1995 numbered more than 150 locations in 33 states across the United States. Some were owned by the company, while others were run by independent dealership. The product was typically distributed from a freestanding cart or kiosk rather than a full-scale store. Following Dippin Dots' enthusiastic reception in Japan, sales were expanded to Korea, the Philippines, and other Asian countries. By 1997, Japan alone accounted for 1/5 of the firm's total sales. The company was also successfully exporting to Europe by this time, and Dippin Dots could be found in England, Ireland, France, Germany, Belgium, and Holland at sites operated by licensee Dots Distribution. Dippin Dots continued to be manufactured only in Paducah, and because of their low storage temperature, had to be shipped in special containers surrounded by liquid nitrogen. The beads could last up to 15 days in this form, though they typically reached their destination within 5 days. Import tariffs and shipping were not inexpensive, and as a result, the ice cream was sold at a premium price. Nevertheless, the uniqueness of Dippin Dots helped the brand take hold wherever it was offered. By the fall of 1998, Dippin Dots products were being sold in 42 states and 13 countries by 110 dealers at 350 different locations. They were now found in some frozen food vending machines as well as movie theaters, sports stadiums, and such popular tourist sites as Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where they were dubbed Space Dots. A deal was also reportedly in the works for the ice cream to be offered to airline passengers. Annual sales stood at approximately $18 million, and in 2000, the company formed a subsidiary, Dippin Dots Franchising Inc., to further expand its reach. Although 2001 started on a bad note with the layoff of 13 of the firm's 160 workers due to a sales slump, the year also brought good news when plans were made to test market Dippin Dots at more than 250 McDonald's restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area. The trial was a success, and an official rollout was begun in May of 2002. McDonald's spent $1.2 million to promote the ice cream, which was offered in vanilla, chocolate, and banana split flavors. Soon, other McDonald's in California and Nevada signed on, with additional locations expected to follow suit. In addition to the McDonald's restaurants, Dippin Dots was now available around the United States at 800 sites, including theme parks, stadiums, movie theaters, and travel plazas, as well as in 250 shopping malls and about 300 special events. The company was now ranked third largest ice cream franchisor in the country behind Baskin-Robbins and Dairy Queen. Dippin Dots' core customer group were children and teenagers, and during the summer of 2002, the company's first national advertising campaign was launched with ads in 17 and Nickelodeon magazines. Dippin Dots now came in more than 23 flavors, including the recently added chocolate-covered cherry, cotton candy, and chocolate chip cookie dough. Some varieties were low-fat and fat-free. Serving sizes were 4, 5, and 8-ounce cups, as well as a special foil pouch sold in vending machines. In the spring of 2003, Dippin Dots celebrated its 15th anniversary by launching a sweepstakes in conjunction with Universal Studios. The prizes included 4 trips to the Universal Studios and Islands Adventure theme parks in Florida, where Dippin Dots was sold. The contest was advertised on the company's website and on Nickelodeon cable television, which broadcast a cartoon that was the basis for a new ride. In 2007, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office ruled against Dippin Dots because of the process of creating the ice cream was obvious rather than proprietary. By the 2010s, Dippin Dots was in trouble financially. On November 4th, 2011, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection after failing to reach an agreement with their lender, Regions Bank. According to the New York Times, the bank had been trying to foreclose on Dippin Dots for over a year. In 2012, Oklahoma oilman Scott Fisher and his father Mark Fisher, the chairman and CEO of publicly traded Chaparral Energy, bought Dippin Dots out of
Dippin' Dots rock. Dippin' Dots, the ice cream of the future. New kind of ice cream.
It's my ice cream.
Little Dots explosive flavor.
They just make me want to scream.
It's nothing like Dippin' Dots. When I start to eat 'em, I just can't stop it. Dippin' Dots rock.
Cool burst of flavor.
Dippin' Dots.
In mid-2014, the company purchased gourmet popcorn franchisor Doc Popcorn, which had about 100 stores. On February 10, 2015, the company announced that they would co-brand stores with both products. The 1,000 square foot stores would sell Dippin' Dots and Doc Popcorn, with a common selling counter, register, and employees. On June 21, 2022, J&J Snacks Foods acquired Dippin' Dots for $222 million. Today, there are 102 Dippin' Dot stores in the United States as of January 25, 2024. The state of Texas, with 20 locations, has the most number of Dippin' Dot locations in the U.S. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Bringing back memories from the good old days. That's super cool, man.